Okay, we're live. Good morning. Kemi Omololu, HNN newspaper review for November 28th, 2018. I'm going to be talking about what's going on in Nigeria right now. It's not going to be like the same newspaper reviews you see on television. I'm in my bedroom and I'm on a phone and a laptop. So I'm going to be looking at what's going on in the news and I want you to discuss it with me. Earlier this morning, a few minutes ago, I was actually doing a broadcast telling you guys that I'm going to start blogging again today after 21 months. It's quite a long time. I'm going to start doing a lot of newscasts. I'm going to start doing a lot of newscasts, a lot of broadcasts and things like that. I'm a broadcast journalist, a pharmacist, and a PR specialist. Well, let's talk about what's going on in the news today. I'm not going to separate news and sports and entertainment. I'm just going to go across what I need to go across. Akwa Ibom House of Assembly. Many of you heard what happened there yesterday. It's still, believe it or not, it's still sketchy. When I say sketchy, there's so much going on in the political arena in Nigeria. And it's really sad that we have gotten to that way in Nigeria where violence is the order of the day. Okay, if the bandits aren't doing it, the politicians are doing it. And it's so sad that people get injured. Cars were burned yesterday in the House of Assembly of Akwa Ibom State. What could have caused all that? This whole impeachment sagas that we have in Nigeria with our politicians getting to a point that we cannot even, relate anymore. We have the story about Tekno. Tekno is an artist, a music artist in Nigeria, a young boy, and became a big music artist. Now, when Tekno was coming up, I did tell you guys that I didn't like the deal he was given and that his people are not good enough to, secure the deal. I think they gave him a $4 million advance. And for him, that's like, 3 billion naira, and it's big money. But it wasn't enough for the kind of music that boy was playing. Look at that song by Davido and Duncan Mighty, Aza. If that went to Hollywood, it'll be a hit. If somebody really promotes it, I do music publicity. I know if I was doing PR for that very song, taking it there to, like, say, the New York and the Washington and, the Chicago radio station, the song will go viral. Davido is talented, don't get me wrong, by the way, but they're just certain things that you just don't do wrong. Tekno's deal, I didn't like the 4 million advance. It could be more than that. The story about Tekno now is that he has lost his voice box. There's something wrong with his voice box, and he did not insure his voice. This is something you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do that if you're a music artist. And I think a lot of music artists now are learning from that. But they need to get insurance. We'll talk about that in a separate video because now he can't sing and is very depressed. Photographs on his platforms are very sad, and write-ups and things. So, Tekno's voice box is out for some time now. Now, this thing about UCTH, about robbers invading the hospitals to steal babies. The whole stealing of babies in Nigeria has become a business, okay? When I was in Port Harcourt prison, I told you there were babies everywhere in the prison, in the cells and all that. Nobody got them pregnant in the prison, not even an inmate or a warder. Many of the pregnant women in the prison came in pregnant or were arrested from pregnancy and baby factory cases. So when these babies are born, that's when they're behind. When they're not behind bars, the babies are going for a lot of money. Okay, let me just tell you from the interview I had with Love. Love is one of the madams inside the prison. Her job is to have all these girls living with her. They're pregnant and they'll have babies. Love sells one baby for 1.2 million naira. And then she collects 1 million per baby. The 200,000 goes to the mother. And that's big money to these young 17, 18-year-old girls, that kind of stuff. So what happened in Calabar was University of Calabar Teaching Hospital. A story came out that robbers came into the hospital and they, attacked the hospital and they took babies with them. And when you hear this kind of stories, you automatically think they came to take babies for a baby factory operation for trafficking purposes. And the management of the University of Calabar said the robbers didn't invade or steal babies from the UCTH. That story is false. So for now, this is what we have about University of Calabar. The chief medical director, Thomas Egan, spoke to journalists about that. So no baby was stolen, no abduction happened. Now, another story trending is this Atiku story. I don't know if you heard about that one. U.S. authorities are still looking at Atiku's case and say he shouldn't be a presidential candidate. What say do they have? You know what I mean? If somebody is a criminal or they've been convicted or they're wanted for part of being, on a criminal case, everyone knows this. Even I said it when he was running, that Atiku should not run for president. They wouldn't let him into the States as vice president coming out of office. What is different now? You know what I mean? What is different? Now, Boko Haram, they just notified our army of new attacks coming. New attacks, fresh new attacks. You guys saw the video of the attacks they had at that one place in Borno State. I didn't really look at it. 5 minutes, I turned it off. I'm very angry right now, personally, at the military. If you don't know it, now you know. The Nigerian military blocked me from Twitter in 2016 when I told them that the way they treated the Biafran boys, the IPOB boys, and threw them into the mud. If you remember that video, that was not right. It's a human right violation at any level. And then the journalists that were filming it, they got their devices broken. Phones were broken. iPads were smashed. And I tweeted 16 tweets that the military must replace all equipment. We are journalists. We know our mission. We will not be intimidated. Next thing you know, Brigadier Sani, Sani Usman, that fool, the one that has a protected Twitter account and is the spokesman for the army. Sani blocked me. By him blocking me in 2016, Buhari replaced him. Somebody else is the social media and spokesman for the army now. It's someone else, Uche somebody, but they never unblocked me. The military actually, blocked me on Twitter, all right, and that was after they were following me. If you ever looked at the military's Twitter before they got verified and after they got verified, they were only following 6 people, and those 6 was Buhari, Aso-Rock, myself, and Kayode Ogundamisi. Fumilola Folayan. My email is hnnafricanews@live.com. It's on MSN. hnnafricanews@live.com. And the military used to follow me. They went from me, Kayode Ogundamisi, Buhari, Aso-Rock, and one other handle, Femi Adesina, to removing me. So let me just tell you, I don't care. You can call me non-patriotic. I am patriotic, but I don't really care about what's happening with them. As far as I'm concerned, after what Danjuma said, that the military and the police collude together to kill we the people, I believe it. All right? I believe it. So, like I always say, the military are Boko Haram. Boko Haram is the military. Don't know how a terrorist group can have so many arms. Well, let's go to the next story in the Punch, and that will be the one of the Adamawa University lecturer. The Adamawa State Command said hoodlums that were suspected to be armed robbers, they may be responsible for the death of that lecturer. You know, the Modibo Adamawa University, Dr. Malagri, that, 63-year-old lady, and her husband, 73. both wife and husband, they were killed on Saturday on their way back home from their farm. Okay, the death of this couple really has outraged a lot of people across Yola. And right now, the police are telling we, the media, that it looks like it was armed robbers that did it. Suspected armed robbers, that kind of stuff, you know? A lot of killing going on in Nigeria today. Okay, girlfriends killing boyfriends and all. Did you see that student that stabbed her boyfriend, then decided that she's going to drink bleach and commit suicide, only to find out that the boyfriend even lived through the stabbing? You know, he's going to live through a lot for the rest of his life. Post-traumatic stress disorder, the kind I'm suffering, PTSD. What is this love turning into? That's why I don't fall in love. I don't even know what love is. I want one good friend that I can really spend the rest of my life with. I said friend that I can really spend the rest of my life with. And I know that friend is out there. And I'm getting close to that friend. You know, because, well, friends become lovers. And lovers become what? Husband and wife? Well, let's see. But when you have these young people who are killing each other and stabbing and all that, it's just getting bad. What happened in Katsina? Okay. What happened in Niger State? The 16-year-old girl who was arrested. Okay. You know, and then the 16-year-old guy, the one in Niger State. He killed his girlfriend because the girlfriend was having an affair with the older brother. You talk about these guys are teenagers, all right? And this kind of stories, you know, are just bad. Christian leaders and Christian elders in Nigeria. Who is a Christian elder in Nigeria? They're shunning Atiku and Buhari. They don't want any of them to be your leader. They want someone else. Who are we going to vote for president? Type in, folks. Who do you want for president? You know me, I endorsed Shorey in the beginning. Many of them are not so much loud in the campaign now. The presidential campaign has started. Everybody's going to be coming down here to Ibadan. I want to see exactly who is going to win. Atiku may win because he has enough ammunition to kick Buhari out, even though the Buhari section doesn't know this. Obasanjo's son is campaigning, and I believe is the youth leader, okay, for Buhari's campaign. Let me just tell you something, all right? Let me tell you one thing. When you call somebody an SBNI, this is a Twitter fan. A lot of Twitter fans know my phrase SBNI. SBNI stands for smart, but not intelligent. That's the way Buhari is right now. To me personally, this is why my newspaper review is on my platform. If I do a newspaper review on a TV station or a radio, I won't be able to say this, that the president is smart, but not intelligent. They'll say I'm abusing the president, blah, blah, blah. But the facts is what you get on Kemi Olunloyo's social media platform, all right? Obasanjo planted his son in Buhari's camp, and Buhari hasn't realized that. He just thinks the son is hating on the father. All right, so we have a coalition of Christian leaders who are coming under the National Christian Elders Forum. All these elderly forums annoy me. My dad is in one, a few. My dad is in Ibadan Indigen Elderly Forum Corporation something. Afenifere Elderly. It's just annoying. They're not supporting Buhari or whatever. On the insurgency with the army killing Afenifere, speaking about them, they are also lashing out at Buhari, saying that he doesn't care. And in Benue State, elders in Benue have rejected the federal government's plan to reopen the cattle routes because, of course, Benue had a lot of herdsmen. Even though me, I believe in grazing. This is a land called Nigeria. The flag is green, white, green. The green stands for population and shrubbery and farms, and the white stands for peace. Where did we go wrong that herdsmen will start killing? and people posing as herdsmen. I met them in prison. So that kind of stuff. Traffic accident in Ogun State as 5 cars, 2 cars collide and 5 people died. Please, please, please. The number one cause of traffic death in Nigeria, believe it or not, it's really still not the roads. The roads are bad where they're bad. It's really the seatbelts. Nigerians don't wear seatbelts, and it's not enforced in the places it should be enforced. And some of the cars don't have seatbelts. If I want to go to Lagos now, get there by 12 noon. Let me see. The time is 7:53. If I want to go to Lagos now, leave here at 9. I'll get there by 11. Do what I have to do. Come back by 5, 6, 7 o'clock. I have to go down to Word and take a bus. 1,200. That bus does not have seat belts. What do I do then? How do I survive? Because buses crash trailers and bodies all over the road. How do we change Nigeria? We have Bella Blessed and Favored. Bella Blessed and Favored. Hello, you're watching from Central America. We need to do a show about Central America. What's happening down there with the migrants? The G20 summit starts. The anarchists are going to be here. There's issues with MBS and the killing of Jamal Khashoggi, the journalist, and then the migrant issue has to be touched because the Honduras people are leaving Honduras. So what country are you at, Bella? Tell us. So, kidnapping. It's another story we're watching this morning. Siblings arrested for kidnappings. There was a shooting yesterday, guys, at, how do I say it? There was a shooting yesterday in River State. I'm seeing here. That shooting, hold on, was in a restaurant and 3 people died. Let me just tell you this. When you see cases like this, it could be anything in Rivers. It could be cultist boys fighting each other. And when they fight each other, this kind of stuff happens. You know what I mean? So the cultist boys fighting, the cops have to investigate exactly what's going on. So it's a shame that we see all this stuff going on. Now, crime, which is the bulk of the newspapers. Locally, what's happening in your area? Be a witness. Call me. If you can't get through to me, my PA will pick up the phone. If my PA is not there, just WhatsApp us. 0813194459 and WhatsApp. Zoe's in New York. I'm in Nigeria. We pick all text. Text is better. But email is even better. HNNAfricanNews@live.com. I'll try to review the newspapers every morning. You tell me, do you want a newspaper review? If you do, I'll do it every morning. I'll be back in 2 minutes with the next broadcast. And I'm going to be talking about techno and the voice thing and why you must have voice insurance. My voice insurance is $6 million, meaning that if I lose my voice, I'm getting 3 billion naira. My voice is the best in Nigeria. Before I came to Nigeria, Americans love my voice, Canadians do. I'm #1 on Reverb Nation, but when I entered Nigeria, it's like, Kemi's voice, her accent, What if something happens to my voice, like Techno's voice? 3 billion. Techno could be collecting 3 billion now, right? And stuff happens. So let's do that, the next broadcast. Kemi Olunloyo, News Review.